Hi, it's Aisling. I want to welcome you all to Ace of Spades Tarot as we continue to ring in the Astrological New Year, which, started on the 20th of March during the spring equinox. I could think of no better time to start this channel, especially given the current global turbulence we are all experiencing. For these first 12 readings, I will be using the Romney spread, and I went back and forth about whether or not I should shuffle on camera or off camera because it's a time-consuming process. And so all the cards are pre-shuffled, but I will shuffle and deal on camera. So feel free to fast forward when I begin that process. This will be for a collective reading, general reading for the collective energy of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, North Node, really anywhere that Leo is prominent in your natal chart. Again, this will be a general reading, not a personal reading, so take what resonates with your situation and please leave the rest. And if this reading doesn't resonate, feel free to check out readings for your other placements as they might resonate with your situation better. This is more so to get a kind of collective feel, as I won't be doing the same spread for readings going forward, unless people really like it. I just wanted to get a base kind of understanding of where the collective energies were at this time period, as we approach the new moon in Aries, and also as we go into eclipse season in the coming months. If you like the reading, or if you don't like the reading even, but you want to stay up to date, just please, I ask you to subscribe, like, share, comment. I do ask that if you comment, you do so respectfully. Be respectful of both myself and the other members of the collective. I try to have a no asshole policy. Excuse my French, but I won't be one if you won't, and I try not to be one. So there's enough negativity in the world. We don't really need any more, do we? So as I think most tarot readers would agree, time is fluid. So, this reading is timeless. When it is, when you find it, it is when you are meant to find it. Trying to think what else. That's about it. If you are interested in a personal reading, my email is in the About section, and most likely in the description box below. Once I actually do the description boxes below. Yeah. Also gonna just ring my Nana's little Joya bell. Have a little magic energy. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining. And hopefully we can get some good messages out for you this evening. A lot of 5 of Wands coming. Well, this is a Leo reading, so there are a lot of wands already. Would you like it? I get present energy, please? Ooh. Again, please feel free to fast forward. Spirit. Thank you. I am also a Leo rising and a Leo moon, so I always find when I have prominent placements and I do readings, it's always interesting to see what comes out. I'm just as curious as you. Okay. Makes sense for me. Please do it for Leo. Okay. Oh. Jeez. One more, please. One more. Thank you. Okay. On the deck. Judgment. Okay. All right. So, in our past energy, interesting. Now, I don't know how that possibly could have happened since there's no way this could have come undone. Very odd. So we have Justice starting off our reading, Major Arcana for Libra. You know, wielding the sword of truth, carrying the scales of balance. So in the past, Leos, you might have been dealing either with the legal system or just finding personal justice in situations in your life, personal balance. It seems as though you come out victoriously because an Ace of Wands is kind of divinely handed to you, you know, and you know, as Leo, you're a fire sign, wands are fire energy, and this is kind of divinely given, you know, energy. Can be possibly, you know, it's something nascent. It could be a fresh romance. It could be a fresh romance after a divorce. It could be just a fresh creative project, you know, but something that is handed to you and you know, divinely gifted to you, definitely of a passionate nature, whether that be work-wise or personal life-wise. You would know best. It seems to have opened up a gateway for you. As you notice the Two of Wands next to it, this man is still holding on strong to this wand. As he looks out, you know, over the kind of horizon below him, you know, out to the seas beyond, and holds the world in his hand, realizing, oh wow, you know, I can do all of, I have the ability to create all of this. You know, I have these new possibilities, you know, to explore. And then we have the Five of Wands, which is, you know, a card of chaos, but it's internal chaos. So it's usually internal. It's usually internal. You know, so something maybe you have the choice of hey, you can do this or you can do this. You know, because there are two wands here. And you have, you know, you leave one behind to hold on to this world, and maybe that is the conflict, is saying, you know, I have to give something up in order to, you know, kind of follow my path, follow this path that's been kind of given to me. But there's something in it that, you know, for you is it caused you stress, physical stress. I think, however, you did it anyway, because here, you know, we have this Page of Wands. Pages are messengers, but they're starting off the beginning of their journeys, right? You know, so here we have the same wand standing here, you know, holding on to this wand, saying, okay, I'm ready to start my journey. It's almost, you know, it's almost like the fool's journey, but, you know, in minor arcana terms. And then we have the Lovers. So it's interesting because we have the conflict of the conflict of the Five of Wands, and then the Six, which is, you know, major arcana for it's Gemini energy. It's also called the Choice card. In the past, you know, but it's again a divinely guided union. So we're talking about choices here in this Two of Wands, and then choices here again, right? So it seems like this is possibly a new romance, but there's the decision to have to give up something in order to pursue it, and that's causing conflict, right? And on the other side of the Lover, we have the King of Wands. So I feel like there was a journey that happened between receiving this Ace of Wands, to kind of making these decisions, to starting off the journey at the Page and ending up at the King, because you see how these two are kind of looking at each other. Now, it could be father-son, but I almost feel like it's your, you know, most recent past self looking back at where you first started out, and the choices made in between to get you to where you are. And that's, you know, it's a pretty powerful place to be in the past. We start off the present, we're at the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is again, it's another page. It's water energy. It's another kind of messengery, you know, nascent energy card, and it's kind of an impish card, you know. And he's holding this cup, and he's got this fish. He's got a silly little outfit on, and you know. So again, it could be that a partnership led to a child, or it could be that perhaps a decision was made poorly, and you realized all the glitter wasn't gold, you know, and something smelled fishy and was fishy because, you know, in your cup was a fish. Maybe it was a fish you didn't put there. Or, you know, the King of Wands, he's certainly the most passionate king, and so, you know, maybe he played too many games, right? And maybe it meant taking a step back, because to go from page to king and then page to king again, followed by the Fool. It's funny because you have this King of Swords. Now the King of Swords is very serious. You know, he's serious, he's in control, he's calm, he's metamorphosized. You know, you see this butterfly above him. You know, he is in control of his thoughts. The King of Wands is relatively in control of his passions, but I'd still say he's a little more fun than the other kings. King of Swords is very, you know, mind over heart. You know, he's not going to be the lusty energy. He's going to be, I struggled. I went through the metamorphosis of caterpillar to cocoon to goo to whatever to become this butterfly, you know, and to take this air energy and hone it and really wield my sword with the strength of a calm king. And then we go to the Fool. So it's a really interesting reading, because I was feeling the Fool's energy here, right? With this kind of Page of Wands, and taking this leap, you know, this leap of faith, maybe taking this chance and leaving something behind, and kind of taking this leap of faith. And here it's either, you know, either a King of Swords is someone that's in your life, either whether, and you can take it as you will, because I'm getting kind of two different reads on this, that someone came into your life to give you kind of a new perspective, whereas you're, you know, embodying this passion, this, you know, it's Cancer and Leo energy, and King of Swords is you know, Scorpio and Aquarius energy, and it's very, you know, again, one is body, one is mind, and you know, then to have this Fool card where it's kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to go my own way. I'm not going to go this path, I'm not going to go that path, I'm going to go my own path. And I have my trusty dog at my side, I have what little I need on my back, I carry, you know, the white rose of purity, the sun is shining, and I'm going to take a leap. I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I may fall or I may fly, but I just won't know. And I think that's what you do. I think it's kind of when you have the star here, I mean, you know, the star card is major arcana for Aquarius. Fool is for Aries, but also in a way for Aquarius as well. For me as a reader, I think it's saying, I don't want just one path or this path. I want to choose my path. I want to create my path. And the star is kind of this alchemical healing energy in doing that, you know? And it's healing kind of mind, body, and soul at once. She's naked and she's watering she's pouring water into the pond, but she's also watering the earth. Her cups are full. There's the stars are above her head. She's comfortable in her own skin. The plants, the flowers are sprouting. So it's like, I'm going to heal this, whatever this disparity is between mind and body, right? I'm going to heal the soul on this journey. I'm going to go within the Hangman, Major Arcana for Pisces. I'm going to look at things from a new perspective. I'm not going to go the same old route that this king went or that king went. I'm going to go my route. I'm going to do things differently. Then comes the Queen of Swords, of course, where your head gets in the way again. The Queen of Swords knows, oh, but you've already gone through this Hangman. You've already become enlightened. You've changed your perspective. So the Queen of Swords doesn't scare you anymore. You've already been at the either with the King of Swords or at the King of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is like, I know your angle. Not only do I know your angle, you're sitting sideways, but I also know your angle. And I don't have to lie. I don't have to make anything up. I don't have to pretend I'm not anything that I'm not, because I've seen things not only from my perspective, from the perspective of the King of Wands, from the perspective of the King of Swords, from the Page of Wands, from the Page of Cups, but I've healed mind, body, and soul, myself. I've become enlightened, and I can see things also from your perspective, Queen of Swords. And that attitude is propelling you into this Ten of Pentacles energy. The family life, the whatever you see as your Ten of Pentacles, but financially abundant, not lacking, not the fool with just his little sack on his back, but with an abundant life. I think it's interesting that we have the sword throughout the reading, because then starting off, the future energy is this Ace of Swords, the sword of truth, which she wields, which he wields, right? And now this is the second thing that the universe has handed to you. First it was the wands, and it's almost like this, you've been going through this struggle between mind and body, and you went through all of this beautiful period. And perhaps this is kind of like this current, period that we've all had to take a step back and reprioritize and reassess things. And, the past year has been, with the amount of retrogrades and the planetary transits that we've had going on, it's been astronomically kind of crazy. And so it's almost like the universe is saying, here's this, and then it's saying, here's this, and you have to say, wait, what have I learned? You have to go back and remember, because you're starting to forget in the future. All of a sudden you have the Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, sitting in reverse here, where, some could look at it as that abundance that has been lost. Others could look at it as she's still sitting in her garden abundant, but she's alone, and no, it's not a content alone being alone. It's not a contented feeling of being alone. It's a loneliness, right? But then not taking the time out to contemplate why that is, and this is a card of being alone, and taking the time out to meditate and create alchemy within your mind, and as I've explained it before, stained glass. When tarot first, became popular in Northern Europe in the 14th century, alchemy was all the rage, and so stained glass window was like the epitome of alchemy, right? Because it wasn't turning base metal into gold, but it was turning what was clear glass into these beautiful colored glass that when the light shone through it and the sun transited through the sky, created and transmuted in different ways, in different spaces and different angles, and shone differently, so images would appear and disappear, and you're doing all of this in your mind as you meditate with the sword of truth that you've saved beneath you. But in the reverse, you're not taking the time out. You've forgotten you've forgotten to do that because, you know, things are maybe the world is opening back up again, and you feel like you don't have the time. And this came out strongly in the Cancer reading too, of feeling like you don't have time. You know, there isn't the time to sit and be content and sit with yourself. There isn't, must keep doing. But look what it leads to, because it, you know, here you have a Knight of Cups coming in. And Knight of Cups are great. It's usually a solid emotional offer, you know, whether it be in friendship or in romance, whether it be a job that you're passionate about. You know, it's solid, but it's solid, and the Knight is moving. You know, it's a genuine offer of a cup. But we go into Temperance in the reverse, which is, you know, letting your cups spill out. It's not being in balance. This is, you know, major arcana. There's a lot of major arcanas here. It's major arcana for Sagittarius, you know. But in the upright, you know, the sun rises, the flowers are lush. He has one foot on land, one foot in the water. Wears the robes of white, the wings of the angel. Her, you know, her third eye is fully open. Her heart chakra, you know, the fire energy in it is fully open. She's balancing cup to cup, you know, the water, the alchemy. You know, she's enlightened by the above. The sun is rising. And in the reverse, it's, you know, it can be too much partying. It can be someone that comes into your life and maybe is a bad influence. Yeah, I don't see the Knight of Cups typically as that, but when I see Temperance in the reverse next, it's kind of like maybe it's too many cups, and things get spilled, and things get a little bit messy, and that's when you realize that, oh, you know, shit, I forgot about my own light. I forgot about my own star, my own healing. And next thing you know, you take the time out to find your star again and your enlightenment again, and it's the light from within you that lights your path. But, you know, you're on this snowy terrain, and you're what was once a fruitful, you know, wand, you know, with blossoming buds of you know, leaves and whatnot, is now a withered walking stick, and your beard is gray, and you're an old man. This is, it's like I just got a vision of Christmas Carol, right? And kind of going through the stages of like Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, you know, and it's kind of like, and I feel like this is like, if you don't stop and take a time out and recalibrate in the future when things are going well, you will lose balance and kind of fall off this course that you've been so committed to. And you'll wake up one day and you will realize that you have spent too much time, whether it be partying, whether it be workaholism, or never slowing down, or always feeling like you have to just get ahead and never stopping to smell the roses. Like, you know, you don't want to wake up, you know, being Hermit energy is great energy. It's you know, major arcana for Virgo. Again, there's a lot of major arcanas here in this reading. And it's, I personally love Hermit energy, and I'm a life path 9, so I relate to Hermit energy quite a bit, actually. But it's not where you don't want to start here and wake up here one day and say, wait, what happened? What happened to all of this hope and this life and this healing, this work that I did? And what's great is we end on this four of Wands, you know, and that's Venus and Aries energy, and that's a beautiful, it's a card of celebration. It's, you know, it's the marriage card in the deck. But it's definitely a card of celebration. So I think that because we end on that, and we also end on Judgment in the upright, you know, which is, you know, at the bottom of the deck, and the message from Spirit is like, you know, heed the warning call. That's really the message, and the, you know, heed the call. Pay attention to the signs. You know, and wake up. Wake up. Don't let yourself slip away to a point of no return. Because if you stay with your both of your eyes open and your third eye open, and you take the time out to meditate and maintain the balance that I feel like you've worked very hard to, between mind, body, and soul, that you've worked so hard to maintain over this recent period of time, then you won't have to worry about this in the future. I feel like this is really a glimpse of what could be if you don't pay attention. If that makes sense. Looking down this way is our first column of self and what matters to us. And so you can see that what matters to you is justice and balance, right? And we have, again, the sword of truth, so truth, justice, balance, equality, that matters to you. And Leos are very fair. They are very much, they're gregarious and very much, they're for the people, right? Leos get a bad rap for being vain but they're actually extremely generous and extremely loyal, faithful, and if you have a Leo on your team, they will fight to the death for you. They are ride or die. And so, but that being said, it makes justice that much more important to a Leo. Leos can't bear to see when things are unfair. Of course, there's always going to be some bad eggs in the group. I'm just speaking generally for all of the Leos I know, and they're wonderful people, and some of the most generous people I know, and some of the most will stand up for the underdog people. But I think also looking at it in this direction, what matters to you is having fun. You just don't want to let the fun get so far out of line that you lose balance and you lose temperance, right? So you want fairness and equality, and you want truth and all balance, but just don't let fun get in the way of the balance. There's a time for work and a time for play. And know the difference. In your surroundings, your typical daily surroundings in your home environment, you have the Ace of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So looking at it from this perspective, it's like what once was passionate might have turned a bit cold for both people. Perhaps a relationship is coming to an end. What started off as, a passionate romance isn't working anymore. Or a passionate career isn't working anymore, and that's okay. Perhaps it's not bringing the money you wanted. Perhaps it's not bringing the stability you wanted. Perhaps, perhaps someone has gotten too much in their mind and isn't connecting with their body, and someone is too concerned on their finances and isn't connecting with their partner. Or it can be in work relationships. Either way, it's in your immediate environment. So it's okay to change courses, as we've talked about in this reading. Changing courses and carving your own path. There's no better time to do that than now. This is the time to carve our own paths in this world. It might seem impossible, and it might feel impossible. I know that I've certainly gone through those feelings. But it's not being afraid to take that leap. To start again if something doesn't work. To say, okay, that didn't work out, but I'm not a failure. The only thing that makes you a failure is not trying at all. Then you're right, you're a failure. Because you didn't even try. But sometimes things just don't work out in life. Here in this row here, in this perspective, your hopes and desires, you're looking at this world, then you're taking that leap of faith, but then you're forgetting why you did it all. You have to remember why. You know? This might be what you fear. Fear is taking this leap of faith. But if you don't take a leap of faith, you'll never know. And if you want, you know, if you hope for horizons beyond and expanding your world, and you have to take the time to do that, but you also have to take the time to nourish your, you know, your mind and your body and your soul, and take that time out and to restore your energy so that you can create. You can't just go, because you go, then you eventually become the hermit, right? You just keep walking and walking and walking, and then you're, you know, Moses in the desert for 40 years or whatever it was. You know, it's like you have to take the time out to recuperate, to replenish, to renew your you know, your creative wells, especially as a Leo. You know, here in our known factors, we know that you've struggled with the mind, you know, with physical mind over, you know, heart over mind things, struggled with yourself over things, over changes, but that you've also healed, and you've also experienced offers, you know, genuine offers in life, good or bad. Only you would know. The main thing is that you, and in the center of your entire spread is the star, is the card of ultimate healing. In your hidden factors, and from this perspective, you have Page of Wands, Hangman, Temperance in reverse, and I think that's, you know, the hidden factor is that you might have gotten to a place now where it's like you forgot what it was like to be that Page of Wands again, right? And going back to that terrifies you, but don't let it. Maybe you've forgotten what it's like to be the Hanged Man. Remember. And the hidden factor is, if you don't remember, there is the possibility of losing the balance that you've worked so hard for. You know? And you don't want to do that and have to heal all over again as an old man or an old woman. You know, whether it's you feel old or you are, you know, whether it's years or months or whatever, things in life age us. So we could be 25 and weary. We could be 75 and feel like 20. But our actions can age us. So remember to have temperance. We want this in the upright. Now, short-term future from this perspective. So Lovers, Queen of Swords, Hermit. This is not letting your passions get, you know, short-term future is like not making the choices that get you to places where in the end, again, the Queen of Swords, she's wise for a reason. She knows all things, all truths for a reason, because she's been there. She's been through the war, she's been through the trials and tribulations. She knows because she's seen it and been through it. So, you know, she's, I'd say, probably the oldest queen, if we had to put ages on the queens. So when we're young and we make choices, make sure we're making choices that aren't just fleeting and in the moment, because again, they can age us quickly and find us at the end of the day, holding a staff that's no longer youthful on a very, very bleak terrain. Or find us bitter and not trusting of anyone. And we don't want to become bitter or jaded or, you know, we want to have a balance. Now, in the long-term future is beautiful. right? So if we stay in this King of Wands energy where we are still, you know, king in our, you know, head of our kingdom, you know, king within our own agency and autonomy, and look towards, you know, let the sun shine on us, and let ourselves be passionate, but with you know, an alignment of mind, body, soul, with our chakras aligned, not just, you know, not just heart over head or head over heart. We get to that place of abundance in Ten of Pentacles, and we get to that place of celebration, you know, which is what I think we all want. Whatever that is for you, whether it's, you know, a cottage with your 2 cats and all your books, cool. Celebrate. That's your abundance. Whether it's, you know, finding your soulmate and getting married and celebrating that way, whether it's, you know, finding the person that you're meant to work with, your partner in life and in business, whatever that is, it comes from being open, creative, not closing yourself off, and making sure to stay in balance, heeding the call, paying attention to the signs, not closing yourself off to them, because there will always be signs. I mean, we get signs every day from many different things. You know, there's always, the universe is always sending us signs everywhere we look, if we just have to open our eyes enough to see them. So now I'm going to just get 3 cards. This is Kim Krantz's The Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Oracle deck, which I love and I've been using for a long time. So Nightingale is the first energy we get, which is air energy. But it's really about singing and not caring who hears you, right? That's kind of what this energy about, Page of Wands, right? And just, you know, holding this world. She's singing on top of the world. He's holding the world. You know, just singing your own song. Nightingales sing their own song. And they don't always sing at the same time. You know, nightingales sing at night often for a reason. You know, they don't stick to the same exact path that all the other birds stick to. And then we have Stingray, which again talks about that. Again, I mean, all of the chakras in line, right? And we do have that stingray where, you know, if you step on a stingray, that its tail will slice like a sword. I mean, and we have the 2, you know, the King and Queen of Swords here, right? But in the middle of that, and in the middle of them, we have this energy of all of this healing, right? And this alignment of mind, body, soul healing, and all of the chakras aligned from root through crown, right in the middle of the stingray, which is absolutely beautiful. So just confirming kind of what we talked about. Super present. The butterfly, which is also what we talked about here in the King of Swords, and transforming, right? Being able to go with the flow and to transform, right? And go and not have to feel like you have to maintain this and hold on to this and not take any breaks and not try, you know, balancing things out. Having gone through we talked about going through the chrysalis phase, going through the muck and the caterpillar and the, you know, the crawling and the, you know, to become this beautiful butterfly. To become this butterfly, you know, and even in Judgment, it's like they're rising, right? They're rising almost like from their cocoons. So you have these wings here, right? These beautiful wings, and then on Archangel Gabriel, you have the wings here and the butterfly here, and you know, the only thing that's in the reverse is this Temperance, the same color wings. You have the wings here with the Lovers. Make sure not to clip your wings, you know, and clipping your wings can be because of, like I said, a lot of things. It can be, you know, overworking, over partying, overindulging in anything, you know, that throws all the work you've done off balance. Now I'd like you to think of a question, whatever comes to mind for you, you know, something simple, just one question. We're going to pull one Moonology Oracle card. Hopefully it can help you with an answer and give a little closure to the reading. There. New moon in Taurus, which is coming up in April. I think it's actually a new moon eclipse, right? Is it April? Oh no, that's the full moon. April 30th, is it? I have to check. Yeah, new moon in Taurus is coming up in about another month. Prosperity lies ahead. So that's good. If you're working on something, keep working at it, right? You know, keep working at it, but make sure to balance time out for yourself when you need it. Listen to your body. Listen, you know, heed the signs. Pay attention. The universe is always talking to us, always. And then I'm going to end with any crystals that might be helpful for our beautiful lions, our majestic lions. And you might want to pause this and grab a piece of paper or a journal if you journal. I think a daily journaling habit is a really wonderful thing to implement in a daily routine. Because I'll read from the book, and they usually do ask a question too. Oh, here we go. So we have chrysoprase, which I believe it's an earth. It's a mixture of copper and an agate, if I can remember correctly. But I'm being told to take one more for you. So let's get. This one. Aragonite. Release your emotional baggage. So I'm going to read both of these for you. I'll put them so you can see. I find that the cards don't always look very much necessarily always like the crystals. But if I can hold it up and so chrysoprase there and aragonite. So, chrysoprase it can sometimes be easier to give than to receive, but receiving help from others is a necessary component of a healthy lifestyle. Opening up to receiving as much as you give. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. There has to be a balance between give and take in all of your relationships, whether it's with friends, family, or coworkers. If you notice yourself feeling guilty or uneasy when others give to you, shift your attitude so you can embrace what they have to offer you. Core questions. What do you give more than you receive? What feelings cause you to do so? What shifts can you make to create more balance in your relationships? So we talked about balance, right? So where do you give more than you receive? What feelings cause you to do so? What shifts can you make to create more balance in your relationships? And the affirmation is, I allow myself to receive. I allow myself to receive. Today say thank you without hesitation or deflection to all compliments that come your way. I allow myself to receive. And thank you for being here with me. Hopefully you gained a bit of insight from this reading. And if you did, I'd be incredibly grateful for you, for your subscription, any likes, shares, comments. And again, if you'd like to reach me for personal readings, my email should be found either in the About section or in the description box. Thank you again. Ciao for now. Namaste.